Welcome to the lesson, How Can We Use Our Senses? In this lesson, you will investigate how you can use your senses to identify and learn about different things. The object in the image is prickly on the outside, soft on the inside, and tastes good to eat. Can you guess what it is? Solve the puzzle to find out. Drag the pieces of the puzzle to make a match.
So take a minute and take a guess what you think it is. They gave you some describing words, some adjectives. It's prickly and it's good to eat. So let's see if we can build this puzzle. See what it is.
Well done! Prickly pears are prickly on the outside, soft on the inside, and some people think they taste just great.
Those are some great adjectives. Prickly pears, soft on the inside. So there's some outside traits and some inside traits there.
People use their senses to explore the world. The 5 senses are sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. Click the image for each sense to see an example of how it is used. You can use your sense of touch to feel a cuddly toy.
Can you tell what the adjective was here to describe the toy? It was cuddly.
You can use your sense of hearing to hear a noisy alarm clock.
Oh, did you hear that describing word? He said it is a noisy alarm clock.
You can use your sense of sight to see a cloud in the sky.
How could you describe a cloud? From the picture, I can see that it's white. I've always called them fluffy.
You can use your sense of smell to smell a fragrant flower.
That was a really good adjective he just used. The flower is very fragrant.
You can use your sense of taste to enjoy a juicy apple.
And what adjective did he use to describe the apple? Yep, juicy.
In this activity, you will use your senses to try and identify 5 mystery objects. You know what the objects are, but you don't know which is which. Here's what you'll use. 5 mystery objects. Your 5 senses. A table to record your data. Use your senses to explore and identify each mystery object. Can you predict what each object is? Drag each letter to the correct position. Then click OK.
Okay, so what do you think this is right here? So A, I think it looks like popcorn, chalk, onion, egg, or sandpaper. I think it might be popcorn too. How about this one here? What do you think? Chalk, onion, egg, or sandpaper? Do you have a prediction?
B.
We'll just go right here. A prediction is just a guess, right? How about this right here? Do you think it's onion, egg, or sandpaper? I don't know what that could be. I'm just going to stick it right here. And D, well, I know an egg. I don't know if I'd say that this was an egg, so I'm going to go with sandpaper, which means E must be an egg. So those are our predictions. Remember, a prediction doesn't have to be right. It's just a good guess.
Continue to see if your prediction is correct. Which tool could help your sense of sight Identify the mystery objects. Click your answer, then click OK.
What do you think? He wants to know what tool can help us use our sense of sight. Does a stopwatch help me see? How about a thermometer? I know a thermometer measures temperature, so that's not going to help me see. A stopwatch measures time. This ruler, would that help me see? It's going to measure how long something is. But wait a minute. I remember this from our escape room, the hand lens. That, I think, is definitely going to help me see things close up.
That's right. The hand lens can help you see the objects more closely. You have 5 mystery objects. You can use your 5 senses to try and identify what each object is. Click Mystery Object A to test it. Drag Mystery Object A to one of the senses.
Let's see what it smells like.
This object smells good when it's cooked. Repeat for the other senses.
It smells good.
This is what this object sounds like.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
This feels bumpy.
Notice these good describing adjectives. It's helping me figure out what
Use
this
the hand
is.
lens to take a closer look at this object.
The hand lens is helping me see it really close.
This object tastes salty. Enter the letter A in the table next to the object you think it is.
Well, it smells good and tastes salty, and I heard that popping sound, so I think it's popcorn. So I'm going to type in the letter A.
Select another mystery object and repeat the steps. This object can smell a bit stinky.
I think I put this as chalk. I don't think chalk smells stinky.
This is what this object sounds like. This object feels smooth.
This object does not look like chalk. Seeing it up close is helping me kind of make a better guess.
This object tastes bitter.
Well, I know chalk doesn't taste like anything, nor does sandpaper. And an egg is not going to taste bitter. So I'm going to have to guess that this is probably an onion. Let's try the next one.
This object doesn't have a strong smell. This is what this object sounds like.
That kind of sounded like they were writing something. Let's keep going.
This object feels smooth.
Let's see. That's interesting to see it up really close with my magnifying glass.
Yuck! I wouldn't taste that.
Well, it's not going to be an egg then. I'm going to guess. I know sandpaper is not very smooth, so it must be chalk. My senses are really helping me figure these out.
This object doesn't have a strong smell.
So it doesn't have a smell.
This is what this object sounds like. This object feels rough.
Okay, so it's not smooth, it's rough. You can see it looks pretty rough too. Seeing it up close.
Yuck! I wouldn't taste that.
Well, between an egg and sandpaper, I'm going to have to go with sandpaper. Let's find out what this one is.
This object can smell a bit stinky. This is what this object sounds like.
That sounded like a cracking sound.
This object feels smooth.
Looks smooth.
This object is tastier when it's cooked.
I think egg sounds about right. E for egg. Let's check our answers.
Think about your answers. Click each mystery object to find out if you were correct. Did you identify the mystery objects correctly?
I think so. Let's find out. Popcorn it is. We were right. B is an onion. C is chalk. D is sandpaper. And E is egg. Oh, I'm so glad I got to use my senses and hear those describing words. It really helped me figure out my answers.
Think about what you have learned about how we use our senses. You use many senses to learn about objects. Do you think this is true? Click true or false.
What do you think? Do you think it's true that we use many senses? I think we used a lot of senses to find those answers, so I'm going to say true.
That's right. You use many senses to learn about objects. For example, you might have figured out what the popcorn was by the way it looks, by its salty taste, by hearing it pop, or by the way it feels when you touch it. You probably use your sense of sight more than any other sense to tell different things apart. These objects are all different from each other. However, some of them are also alike in some ways. Use your sense of sight to tell how some of these objects are like others. See if you can make 3 groups. To do this, drag each object to the area underneath the words that describe it.
Okay, so first we're looking for round and red. Is this round and red? This looks round and red. Nope, not round and red. Oh, look at that. This balloon is also round and red. So we have a tomato and a balloon. Oh wait, here's a marble. Now we're looking for long and yellow. This doesn't look long and yellow, but this corn looks long and yellow. So does this banana. And I guess this key would also be long and yellow. Flat and green, this leaf. And this is a flag. Yep, that could be flat and it is green.
Great job! You have sorted the objects correctly. The objects in the top group are round and red. The middle group contains long and yellow objects. The objects in the bottom group are flat and green. You use your sense of taste to tell different types of food apart. Besides taste, what other 2 senses could you use to identify a cookie? Click your answers, then click OK.
Well, if I wanted to identify a cookie, I could definitely taste it. I could also probably look at it and see it.
Sight.
I'm going to go to sight. And I'm also going to think, I could touch a cookie. I don't know that I can really hear it. But I know when we make cookies at home,
Smell.
I smell them. So I'm going to go with smell. Let's see if we're right.
Correct. You could probably identify a cookie by seeing it or by smelling it. In this lesson, you learned a lot about how your senses are used. Before we finish, let's take a quick look at the main points you covered. Your 5 senses are sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. Your senses are useful tools for observing and telling about the world around you. Even when you can't see an object, you can usually use your other